What is going on, everybody? I hope that you're making amazing progress with your Shopify store, your e-commerce store, and building your brand as much as possible. And now we have reached section 3, video 2, which is where we're going to reach out to your influencer for your store. With that being said, it's time to start contacting these influencers when we're ready to do so. First off, we can use Kik, direct email, direct message, which can all most likely be found in their biography section of their Instagram profile. And now it's time for us to build a relationship with this influencer, but simultaneously sell them on what you have to offer. So, like we've discussed, this influencer isn't always going to instantly want to promote your product. They're going to have the desire to do so and find it right for their business. As you know, them being an influencer is their business. Being a smart marketer, an influencer isn't going to market a product that isn't smart for them and a well fit for their timeline. So, what do? We give them value. Let's say you are in the accessories business. We're going to send them a sample of maybe your latest necklace or latest ring or your latest bracelet. And this is going to be something that we're going to dub as exclusive. This is a one-time sample, a test run, something that hasn't been put out to the rest of your market, something that hasn't been set out to the public. Make them feel special, even if it's not at all. I'll keep it a secret between you and I, but this is something that can very well impress your influencer. The exclusivity is huge, something that they can show off. You could say, this is only a bracelet that you have. This builds a relationship. This isn't about immediate selling, but you are selling in the back of your mind. You're building the relationship with this influencer and you are selling them on you and your brand while building the relationship simultaneously. So, first things first, we want to find something that they're interested in. Reaching out to these influencers is becoming harder and harder as influencer marketing is getting traction by the very day. So, it's time for us to do our homework here. We can go into their Facebook account, their Twitter account, and we could do a little homework on their personal interests, exactly what they're interested in, maybe get a general idea of what kind of person they are, and we're going to just try to build our knowledge around them. We have to show that we care. So, it's not that you're working with a wall here or a robot. You're working with another person. You want to build this relationship. You want to build a connection, and you want to grow it so that you keep this influencer around because they don't have to be a one-time feature. You could keep this influencer in your Rolodex. You want to build a Rolodex of influencers so that you could pick and choose which ones you want to use and reach out to. So you could utilize certain ones at the best times, which will optimize your marketing and optimize your business. After we do a little background homework, we're going to really try to get them on our side here. We're going to look at their personal interests. We're going to look at their demographic. We could try to find something that caters around them specifically. Maybe they're from New York, so we could send them a New York Yankees cap. Or we could send them a certain book that they've tweeted about that they love. Or maybe certain merchandise from their favorite sports team. It's time for us to get creative here. Let's say that this certain influencer was a huge fan of Derek Jeter, the baseball player for the New York Yankees. We could take the time out of our day and make this small micro investment by purchasing something such as a Derek Jeter picture or a signed memorabilia piece from Derek Jeter, and we could send it to them as a gift with a little memo included. The reason why we're going to want to send this as a gift, especially maybe gift wrapped, is because that these influencers are very busy people. For example, if they have a secretary or an assistant, there's a very good chance that that secretary or assistant will simply open your package and take away all of the value and all of the personal connection possibilities that you have by sending them a gift. If we wrap it and say it's for this person, there is a much higher chance that this is going to be passed off to them personally, therefore leaving them to open it themselves. We don't want a secretary or an assistant opening this package. These are very highly demanded people, and it's hard to get a hold of them from time to time. So we want to do it as differently as possible. We want to stand out. We want to build this connection so that these influencers are with our business for the long run. Using things such as Amazon. Amazon offers a great gift sending service, and you can find a countless amount of products on Amazon.com. So this is where we can get creative, and we do a little bit of homework on our influencer. You could look through their tweets, things that they've posted about, look at what they're interested in. Try to build this connection as best as possible. So here we're going to do things like write them a small memo. Maybe I love your work, let's go out for a cup of coffee, let's set up a meeting, let's set up a call, etc. You could tell them a little bit about what you're doing, or maybe say, I love your work, you can check out my page here, let's discuss a collaboration in the near future, and then provide your contact information. Now, this is a great way to set up meetings, calls, and even more, and just a great way to spark off a relationship with an influencer and building that connection that is going to last you an extended period of time. Because a lot of people are going to reach out to them in original ways, but this is a good way to stand out. Not that ways such as email or direct message isn't going to work, but if this is someone that you're aiming high for, this is a great way to stand out and reach out to this influencer so that you can get them on your side and have them market your products personally. First things first, we have to give to get. We cannot just expect a return from this influencer that we're not familiar with or that we haven't connected with in the past and have them want to promote our product out of the nowhere. So we have to ask ourselves, what's in it for them? If we were in their shoes, what would they want from us? All right, so a good starting point is to become a part of their community. You want to engage and share their posts because this way you're going to get on their radar. They're going to see your name popping up in their notifications somewhere. That's not going to go absolutely unnoticed because you could absolutely back it up. And when they look at your page, they're going to see that you've been representing them, sharing, and trying to help them grow their brand, which is what they're super passionate about. And also, the more you know, the easier it is to connect. When you're writing an email to this influencer and you have done your research and you know a lot about them, it is going to be so much easier for you to tailor an email around them and to get their attention so that you guys could be on the same page and really connect and understand each other. So that's why the more you know, the easier it is to connect with this influencer of your choice. So after becoming a part of their community and showing them some love, this is us trying to reciprocate and have them owe us. The do's and the don'ts, these are very key. So we're going to want to contact them how they want to be contacted. So if they have a press email in their biography, you're going to want to contact them through that route. You don't want to have to take that extra step and send them a DM or contact them some way that they don't want to be contacted, because then it's just going to slow down the process and reduce your chances of really reaching out to them. Maybe if an email doesn't work and you never get a reply, you can move on to trying a DM or tagging them in something and a different route to get in touch with them, because they are very busy people. They are getting a lot of emails. So once you do hit that press email, you are doing something very important by contacting them exactly how they want to be contacted. And when you do contact them, we have to be short and sweet. They have a lot on their plate. They have a lot of other emails to read. The last thing that they want to do is have to read a complete biography about what we're talking about. So we're going to get into exactly how we're going to go about typing this email and what we're going to include and what we're not going to include in the very next slide. Vital points are, first off, who you are, what you want, why they should care or why their audience should care, and we have to end with a call to action. And something that's great that I've seen work quite often is, for example, what are your thoughts? Ask them, what are your thoughts on what I've been doing? You could ask for something such as a product review or a simple featured post. So this is something that you're doing once you're building the relationship, because you don't have to go right off the bat and say, hey, how much for your featured post? You could ask for a product review and see what their input is, because they're inside your niche and they're very knowledgeable of what's going on inside of your niche. So this is a great way to build a relationship with your desired influencer and really get a good idea of what's going on. And the biggest part that I cannot stress enough is to always end with a question. So if someone that you are not familiar with reaches out to you with this huge statement and you've never heard from them before and they just give you this long paragraph of just their business about themselves, self-centered, not really figuring out what is in it for you, and you're not really going to have any idea on how to respond. You don't want to end with a statement, you have to end with a question, because this is going to give them a way to respond and pivot point for them to know where to take the conversation and not just be unsure of how to reply. If you leave it in their hands to not be sure how to reply, then they're most likely not going to reply, because it's just going to take up more time out of their day and their work day. So you want to end with a question so there's a good point that you could segue into the very next email of them responding to us and then building the relationship, and therefore finding a way to take another step towards brokering a deal with this influencer of your choice. Make sure you stress heavily on why they should care and why their audience should care. Why would your product change their audience? Why is it going to benefit them? Why is it going to benefit the following that they've built, this community that they've built, because this is something that they're super passionate about? You don't want to end up screwing over something that they care about because your product isn't the right fit, or maybe you're just not in the right niche. So that's why you have to make sure that them working with you has benefit to them and their audience. And ending with that call to action is also super, super important.